Hello, today it's the turn of my green watercolour paints to get swatched out. I've got a rough draft which I will be doing a neater version of and putting into a nicer colour order. And here are the palettes which I've got out, which all contain greens that I'll be using. I'm going to stick to a similar format as my previous colour themed watercolour videos. So I will swatch a row and then show you closer up with the names. I'm going to start off now with a page of cooler greens. Okay, so we've got this beautiful row of these lovely cool greens. I just love them. Right, the first one is A Gallo's Dark Forest. Then we have Schmal's Perylene Green. Then Schmincke's Forest Blue. Then Daniel Smith's Zoisite Genuine. And then Holbein's Davies Grey. The Schmincke's Blue Forest looks a bit out of place in that lineup, but in my dried swatches it kind of fit better, so we'll see what it looks like when it's dried. Okay, on the next line I've got A Gallo's Forest Green, Sennelier's Forest Green, and Daniel Smith's Jadeite Genuine. Okay, just two on this next row. There's Roman Schmal Phthalo Green blue shade, which I somehow managed to end up with 3 of by accident. And then A Gallo's Viridian. And the last line. Okay, and this last row consists of Daniel Smith's Cascade Green, Schmincke's Shire Blue, A Gallo's Earth Green Cool, and Derwent pastel shade Artichoke, and then Roman Schmal's Malachite. And now for the warmer greens. I couldn't arrange these exactly how I'd have liked because I didn't have enough slots on each row or enough rows. So yeah, just a case of make do, and it's not going to be perfect. Oops, my video cut out at some point there, I'm not sure how far along. But I'll go through this second line. So we've got Sennelier's Olive Green, Roman Schmal's Hooker's Green, we've got Jackson's Permanent Sap Green, then Sennelier's Phthalo Green Light, and then Schmincke's Shire Olive. Okay, so on this line we've got Daniel Smith's Olive Green, and this next one is Derwent Graphite Tint Meadow, then Roman Schmal's Deep Green Gold, then Holbein's Leaf Green, and A. Gallo's Fig Green. The last line is Jackson's Hooker's Green, Holbein's Emerald Green Nova, Sennelier's Emerald Green, Holbein's Compost Green, and Schmincke's Shire Green. So I'll let all of those dry, and then I'll tidy up the sheets and add the pigment information and lightfast information and take a closer look at them all. So I'm back with the dried darker greens, and I'll take a closer look at those now. So A. Gallo's Dark Forest is pretty close to Roman Schmal's Perylene Green, though they're different pigments. Roman Schmal has quite a few single pigment colours. And we've got the bluer Schmincke Forest Blue. And then Zoisite, which seems to look a slightly different colour every time I swatch it. And I went for Holbein's Davies Grey as opposed to some of the other brands because it was one of the more greener leaning Davies Greys. I think they're all really, really lovely. Then next we've got these forest greens, so A. Gallo's and Sennelier's Forest Green. They've got almost identical pigments. A. Gallo's has PY43, Sennelier's has PY42. And then Jadeite Green from Daniel Smith. Then our phthalo colours. Roman Schmal's Phthalo Green Blue shade. And A. Gallo's Viridian, which has the addition of the PB29. Then we've got these two granulating colours, Daniel Smith's Cascade Green and Schmincke Shire Blue, and they're pretty similar actually. Yeah, totally different pigments, but they come out quite similar. And then we've got these three lovely paler greens. A. Gallo's Green Earth Cool, which is the same pigment, PG23, as Roman Schmal's Malachite. And in the middle we've got Derwent Pastel shade of Artichoke, which I don't have pigment information for. It's very, very pretty colour though. So yeah, they're all just all really beautiful. And now we've got our dried yellow leaning greens. So let's take a look at those. Yeah, the Daniel Smith German greenish raw umber looks more out of place here. I think it would probably belong better in the browns. But this is the colour I'd swatched it out as first, which is why it ended up with this group. I think I must have contaminated it with maybe like a Perylene Green or something beforehand. Anyway, it's there now. And the rest of the row, we've just got these beautiful, beautiful granulating greens. Just deep and interesting, and yeah, I really love those. Next line of greens. It's interesting how different Sennelier's olive green is to Daniel Smith's olive green. Jackson's permanent sap green is very opaque. And we've got Derwent Graphite Tint Meadow. It's obviously different from the watercolours in that it contains graphite, which gives it the appearance of granulating because the graphite separates out. It's quite nice. I've got, I think, 4 of those paints in a little Derwent set, and I do like all of them. You've got the leaf green and the fig green, quite similar, but the fig green's a little warmer. I've seen a question mark over Jackson's Hooker's Green. I think it's the PY83 pigment, but to be honest, it's not really it's not a paint I use very often at all. So I'm not too worried about it. So yeah, they were lovely to swatch out. I think all of these re-wet beautifully, except maybe the raw umber. Could have done with a bit of pre-wetting. But just a really nice set of paints. Okay, as ever, I hope that will have been useful or interesting to somebody, and thank you very much for watching. Bye.